Hey there, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be tackling something that's absolutely massive, but honestly often overlooked, and that is the care economy.
Yeah.
You sent in this really eye-opening report. It's from the World Economic Forum. It's called The Future of the Care Economy. And let me tell you, this report is a game changer. So buckle up because we're going to break it all down for you.
Yeah. It's funny. We often think of the economy as these like big complex systems,
Right.
but this report really brings it home. It reminds us that it all starts with care.
Absolutely. It really reframes care. We're not just talking about babysitting or elder care.
Yeah.
This report is saying that care is really the foundation of a thriving society and a strong economy.
Yeah. And it kicks off with this crazy stat: globally unpaid care work is like having almost 2 billion people
Wow.
working full time for free.
Yeah.
Think about that: 2 billion people.
It's almost impossible to wrap your head around, right? It's like, to put it in perspective, that's equivalent to 9% of global GDP. We're talking trillions of dollars in unpaid labor.
And here's the thing: women are shouldering a huge amount of this unpaid care work.
Oh, absolutely.
Globally, women are doing more than three-quarters of it.
Yeah.
And that's not only just completely unfair, but it has huge consequences for women, being able to participate in the paid workforce or,
Yeah.
earn equal pay advance in their careers.
Absolutely.
So, that's a huge problem.
And this report is saying that neglecting the value of care is basically like ignoring a giant elephant in the room.
Yeah,
That's holding back economic growth and just fueling inequality.
for sure.
And, it really brings home how crucial care work is both paid and unpaid.
Right.
It's the backbone of a functioning society.
Yeah.
Think about it. If someone's not there to take care of the kids, the elderly, or even just the sick, how can people show up to work or go to school or contribute to the economy?
Exactly. It's all connected. And that's what this report is saying. Investing in the care economy, this isn't just some like feel-good initiative.
Right.
This is an economic imperative.
Yeah, and it gets even more interesting because they're saying that we are at this pivotal moment where three major trends are about to like completely reshape the entire care landscape as we know it.
For sure.
So let's unpack these trends. Hit me with trend number one.
Okay, so trend number one: the world population is aging, and it's aging fast,
Yeah.
which means we're going to see a huge increase in the demand for care services, especially for older adults.
We're already seeing that in so many parts of the world.
We are, and the report highlights just how massive this demand is going to be.
Okay, so that leads us to trend number two, meeting this skyrocketing demand for care.
Yes.
The report estimates that globally we need to create 475 million new jobs
Wow.
in the care sector by 2030.
That's a lot of jobs.
That's a whole lot of job
Yeah.
openings.
Yeah. Talk about a career path with some serious growth potential.
Right. But it's not just about the numbers, it's about what kind of skills are we talking about.
That's where it gets really interesting because the report points out that caregiving, it requires such a unique set of skills.
It does.
We're talking about empathy, communication, problem solving, patience, emotional intelligence. And honestly, those skills are becoming more and more valuable as our world becomes more automated.
It's true because you think about it, robots, they might be able to automate certain tasks, but they can't replace the human touch.
Exactly.
They can't replace the ability to connect with and care for another person.
Right.
And these are skills that are going to be in such high demand across all sectors.
Absolutely. And, this is where the report makes such a compelling argument.
Yeah.
Investing in the care economy isn't just a social good, it is an economic imperative.
Absolutely. So they've made their case. Care is important, care is undervalued,
Well,
and the demand for care is about to explode. But what's the solution? How do we actually turn this essential but often overlooked sector into a thriving care economy?
yeah, and thankfully this report doesn't just leave us hanging. It lays out a pretty clear roadmap for action and, emphasizes that this isn't something that any one group can kind of solve on their own.
Right.
This is going to take a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
We need governments, businesses, and communities all working together.
It's going to take all of us.
Yeah, they actually call it mobilizing multi-stakeholder collaboration.
I like it.
And they get really specific about what each stakeholder needs to do.
Okay.
So, for example, for governments, it's about really stepping up their game when it comes to care infrastructure.
Okay, so what does that look like? Like, give me some examples.
Sure. So we're talking about things like investing in affordable childcare,
Okay.
making sure that there are accessible and high-quality elder care options available,
Yeah.
paid family leave, and other supportive policies that actually make it easier for people to both give and receive care.
Right, because it's not just about like the actual hands-on care, it's about creating a system that supports it.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that a well-supported care system benefits everyone,
Right.
and that requires government investment.
Absolutely. But it's not just on governments to solve this, is it?
No way.
The report also challenges businesses to kind of rethink how they view and support care.
Absolutely. Businesses have a huge role to play in creating a more care-friendly world.
Yeah.
The report calls on companies to step up and offer things like on-site childcare,
Yeah.
flexible work arrangements,
Yes.
paid caregivings, leave even subsidies for care services.
Wow.
And the best part is, it's not just the right thing to do, it makes good business sense.
It does. When employees have access to these kinds of benefits, it reduces stress, it reduces absenteeism, it improves retention, it boosts morale and productivity.
Totally. It's a win-win.
It's a win-win for everybody.
Exactly. And not to mention, it can be a huge draw for attracting top talent, too.
Oh, for sure.
Let's be real. Who wouldn't want to work for a company that actually understands their caregiving responsibilities and is actively supporting their well-being?
Right. It's about shifting the mindset from viewing care as a personal burden
Yes,
to seeing it as a shared responsibility and a smart investment.
100%.
And that's where things get really exciting, because when we start to value care, we start to unlock a whole world of possibilities.
Totally.
Not just for individuals and families, but for our entire economy.
It's true.
Okay, so we talked about some of these like top-down solutions, from governments and businesses, but this report also dives into some really inspiring examples of community-led initiatives that are transforming the care landscape from the ground up.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you want to hear about those?
Absolutely. Tell me everything.
It's so easy to get caught up in the big picture stuff,
Right.
but sometimes it's those like grassroots, community-driven solutions that really light the way forward.
Totally. And this report has some great examples of that.
Okay.
Starting with this idea of care cooperatives. Have you ever heard of those?
I'm not sure I have. What is that?
So imagine a world where childcare isn't just about like finding a daycare center
Right.
or hiring a nanny.
Yeah.
It's about communities coming together
Okay.
to create their own care solutions.
Yeah.
That's the essence of a care cooperative.
Okay, how does that actually work in practice?
So the report highlights this amazing example from India,
Okay.
the Self-Employed Women's Association, or CGA.
Okay.
And they have this incredible childcare program called Sangini.
Okay.
It operates across multiple states,
Hmm.
and it provides really high-quality, affordable childcare for low-income families.
That's amazing. What makes it a cooperative, though?
That's the really cool part. So Sangini is owned and managed by the people who work there,
Oh, wow.
the childcare providers themselves.
So it's like a worker-owned cooperative
Exactly.
that empowers women
It's
on
true.
multiple levels.
Exactly. It not only provides these essential care services, but it also creates these sustainable livelihoods for women.
Yeah.
It gives them a voice. It gives them agency in their work. And get this, they've even managed to secure funding from like a really interesting mix of sources.
Oh, wow.
Government grants, private donors, corporate partners.
That's really cool. It shows what is possible when communities come together
Right.
and create their own solutions.
And it's not just about childcare. The report also talks about supported self-managed care,
Okay.
which is a really innovative model for people who need more personalized support.
Okay. I've actually never heard of that. What is that?
So think of it as like a more flexible and empowering alternative to traditional care services,
Okay.
particularly for older adults and people with disabilities.
Okay.
Basically, it allows individuals to design their own care plans based on their own specific needs and preferences.
Interesting.
So instead of being locked into a one-size-fits-all system,
Mm-hmm.
they have the freedom to choose the type of care they receive and even who provides it.
That makes a lot of sense.
It really puts the power back in the hands of individuals and gives them a lot more autonomy and control over their lives.
Yeah.
And the report highlights this really cool example from the Netherlands
Okay.
called Bertzorg.
Bertzorg. Okay.
The Bertzorg is a nursing organization that has completely revolutionized home care services. They've really embraced this idea of self-managed care by empowering nurses to
Yeah.
work directly with patients to coordinate care plans,
Okay.
manage their own schedules, and even their budgets.
Wow. So they're really giving the nurses a lot of freedom.
A lot of freedom, a lot of flexibility
Yeah.
to provide really personalized care that's tailored to each patient's needs.
That's amazing. And what kind of results are they seeing?
They've actually seen higher patient satisfaction rates, lower costs, and improved working conditions for nurses.
It's win-win.
It really is a win-win for everyone involved.
That's incredible. Well, this entire deep dive into the care economy has been so eye-opening.
Yeah.
It's really about so much more than just addressing like a social need.
Right.
It's about creating a more just equitable and prosperous future for absolutely everyone.
It really is. And recognizing that investing in care isn't just some sort of like charitable act.
Right.
It's an investment in our collective well-being, both socially and economically.
It's about understanding that care is really the foundation of everything, our families, our communities, our economies.
100%.
It's our humanity.
Yes.
Well, this report has definitely given us a lot to think about. What are your takeaways? What resonated with you? This report is really just the start of the conversation. What kind of care future do we want to create together? That's something for you to ponder. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. We'll see you next time.